Okay, now let's look at uh, a different metric for selecting k. So in the first example, okay, we didn't say anything, so the default is accuracy. So Caret used accuracy as the metric for selecting k. Okay. Now let's look at how to run the same Caret tuning grid and training control, but you want to use area under the curve as the metric for selecting the best k. Okay. Now the procedure that we're going to look at is common for other models as well. It's not just for k and n. You can use the same method for decision tree, logistic regression, neural networks, and so on. Okay, if you want to use area under the curve as your metric, okay, with a different model, then you use the same procedure. So what we need to do is to set up your train control slightly differently. So you have to, there are a couple of things we have to do before we can run the training code. So we have to set up our target with labels. So, okay, so it has to be a factor, but we can't use as factor because as factor simply uses default factors 1 and 2. So we have to use, so we say train.df. So we take catmedv, okay, then we say there are two levels to this catmedv, which is 0 and 1, okay, and I want to label them, okay, as no and yes. Okay, so you have to, for some reason, you have to have it in this way. Okay. So now y has the target recoded as a factor with labels no and yes. Okay. And then we have to use a different control. So train control is going to be, okay, like this. Train control, you must specify what is called summary function. So you say to-class summary. Okay, so that will generate AUC for you. Okay. Otherwise, AUC is not, if you look at the previous method, you will see accuracy and kappa and all that kind of stuff, but you won't see AUC anywhere there. Now, if you use this code in train control, you say summary function is equal to to-class summary, and then you have to do class probs equal to true. All right. Now, this is going to generate AUC for us. Okay. All right. So let's run that. Okay. So that's set up. Now, let's see, KNN AUC. Okay. Do train. Now, y is equal to y. We already set up y as a factor right here. So our y is y. X is, well, if you want to use train.df, you have to do pre-process. So let's go ahead and use train.norm. Okay. All right. And then you see TR control is AUC, CT, or L. Okay. And tune grid, we'll use the same tune grid from before, which is K list. Right? What is K list? Okay, K list. Okay. And then you have to say what method we want to use. Method equal to KNN, and then metric equal to AUC. Okay, and then we will do KNN.AUC, metric. Yeah, metric AUC is not the correct. For us to use AUC as the metric, you need to specify metric as ROC. Okay. So now we have K, ROC, sensitivity, and specificity. So you can use any one of the three. Okay. We used ROC. Okay. And then the best tune here KNN.AUC, KNN.AUC, best tune, gives you 8. K equal to 8 is the best tune. Now, if you want, this doesn't give you, you can find out what the AUC is for 8, K equal to 8, but it doesn't give you the ROC chart. Okay, so you have to run the ROC chart. For that, we need the probability. So we're going to use this same. Okay, so we need this code. I'm going to copy paste this at the end. Okay. All right, so let's call this AUC prob, and this is KNN.AUC. Excuse me? You have a question?
I was wondering what you copied.
Oh, the ROC code from before. And okay, let's take that thing off. Okay. Now AUC prob, and number 1, so if you run that. Okay, so you have AUC prob. Okay, so now it has no and yes, because we coded, remember? So you have to be careful here, you need to change that. AUC prob, it should be yes. Okay. And so here we are maximizing AUC. So there you go. Scroll up. That one? So when you set up control in this fashion, you generate AUC, sensitivity, and specificity. You can use any one of the three as the metric, and then you can compute your confusion matrix from here. Okay, so you use the predict to predict the class. Instead of type equal to prob, if you leave that out, what you get from predict, the default is class, predicted class. And then you can use that in the confusion matrix. Okay, you have another question?
I got a different value for the you have 8,
Okay.
mine's 9. Is
Okay.
that like, do we need to set, is there a seed?
Yeah, we need to, that's right. Because CV, cross validation, it randomly selects those 5 folds. So I forgot to, you're right. So we should set seed for, whenever you use CV, we should use set seed. I forgot about that. So here, okay, so training here, you set that seed 1. Okay. Then let's see what the best tune is. So best tune is 17 when you set seed at 1. And you get, okay. Yeah, cross validation requires set seed.